it's spooky when you think about it. Take a look.
If we start at the back of the brain, we've switched off my visual cortex, so made me unable to see things. If we move a little bit forward in the brain, we've interfered with people's ability and my ability to see faces. I've interfered with the ability to perform actions. Start moving your finger. Quite odd. It's not your finger anymore. It's not my finger anymore.
Now that's one thing, but what about actually impacting the way somebody moves? Like, can you log into somebody? Can you hack their brain and make them move? Can you tap into their nervous system and get them to flail their body parts for no apparent reason? Guess what? You can. And it doesn't take much. I mean, we're talking simple little wires. Take a look.
You're going to stand right here. So when you're moving your arm like this, your brain is sending a signal down to your muscles right here. I want you to move your arm as well. All right, so your brain is going to send a signal down to your muscles. And so it turns out that there is a nerve that's right here that runs up here that innervates these three fingers and is close enough to the skin that we might be able to stimulate that. So that we can do is copy your brain signal that's going out to your hand and inject it into your hand so that your hand will move when your brain tells your hand to move. And so in a sense, she will take away your free will and you will no longer have any control over this hand, okay? You with me? All right, so I just need to hook you up. All right, so I'm going to find your ulnar nerve, which is probably right around here. You don't know what you're signing up for when you come up and... So now I'm going to move away and I'm going to plug it into our human-to-human interface over here. Okay, so Sam wants you to squeeze your hand again. All right, do it again. All right, perfect. So now I'm going to hook you up over here so that you get this. It's going to feel a little bit weird at first. This is going to feel like you know, when you lose your free will and someone else becomes your agent, it does feel a bit strange. So I want you to relax your hand. All right, and Sam, you're with me. All right, so you're gonna squeeze. I'm not gonna turn it on yet, so go ahead and give it a squeeze. All right. So now, are you ready, Miguel?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Okay, so I've turned it on. So go ahead and turn your hand. Do you feel that a little bit? Okay, do it again.
No, a little bit.
A little bit. Okay, so relax. So hit it again. Okay. Oh, perfect, perfect. All right, so relax. Do it again. All right, so now. All right, so right now, your brain is controlling your arm, and it's also controlling his arm. So go ahead and just do it one more time. All right, so that's perfect. So now, what would happen if I took over my control of your hand? And so just relax your hand. What happens? Nothing. Why not? Because the brain has to do it. Now you do it again. All right, that's perfect.
So you see there, one person thought it, and the other person acted it out. There was no free will there. He couldn't stop his arm from flinching around because his body was hacked for a moment. Oh, now with wires, of course. But we all know that you don't really need wires anymore. Most of us are wireless anyway.
I had one patient who actually woke in the middle of the night attempting to strangle herself.
I remember I used to have to hit a table with a medical hammer, but I used to hit myself with it, everywhere.
The patient grabbed the syringe, the doctor turned his buttock to the patient, and the patient performed the injection.
I've even gotten mad at my hand because it won't do what it's supposed to do. Why are you doing this to me?
So these conflicts, these disagreements you see the left hand or the alien hand committing indicates that maybe there's another personality running around inside the brain.
My hand, it just seems to go out and it grabs it every time, and I don't know why. It's as though this isn't my hand.
The left hand didn't want to do its job, so it has to get punished.
He would have a struggle, and it was obvious he wanted the light off, and his left hand was turning it on.
Imagine having a part of your body that has a will of its own, not knowing what it's going to do next, causing you embarrassment or worse still, physical harm.
May well be that a lot of people are experiencing a form of alien hand syndrome, but actually the local doctor hasn't yet realized it. So it might actually be a lot more common than we realize.
So what do you guys think? I had just put up that video, some of you might have already watched it, about the whistleblower and the frequency technologies that he was saying the company that he worked for was testing their frequency, mood altering, and behavioral control, social engineering projects on entire cities and populations, and there were targeted individuals and that type of thing, and that they could remotely and wirelessly beam frequencies on entire cities. And we talked about all sorts of stuff related to that, how chemtrails might be related to that, how the bird die-offs and the trauma to specific organs and specific species and different things like that might be related. And then I've put up this video that you're looking at here about how sound can actually move matter and make molecular changes and all of that. So all of this frequency technology is very real. Now, back to pertaining to how these frequencies beamed into the human brain can affect, movement and stuff. Not only is that science possible, but the Bible says that these higher dimensional beings, spiritual entities, have been affecting human behavior for, millennia. And that's what we call possession. We call it spirit possession. And the Bible repeatedly and specifically recorded like Jesus casting out evil spirits that were causing brain interferences like epilepsy. And it also said, just like in the very first clip of this, where the guy said that they were able to put the pulse on a part of his brain and it could interrupt his visual cortex. And likewise, it said when Jesus would cast these spirits out, blind people could see and things like that. When they beam in words and sounds and voices and stuff into the human body, then we call that schizophrenia or multiple personality disorder,
And it begs the question, all these terrible mass shootings that we see, like in Aurora, where that troubled kid James, where he went and he killed all those people. He was classified as a schizophrenic. But I mean, is it possible? Is it possible that his brain could have been hacked and that he was told to do these certain things? Well, I mean, we hear of people time and time again carrying out these horrible acts and then saying, the voices told me to do it. Is that something that's possible? It is. You can implant thoughts into people.
So when you see things like this alien arm syndrome thing, that has gone on for ages, and people actually trying to choke themselves and trying to stab themselves and not being able to control their other arm from attacking them, clearly that is a spiritual, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, is a spiritual attack. Is a spiritual entity, and an actual energy, still a frequency, still an energy, but something higher dimensional and not a technology that humans are beaming at them, although it very well could be, especially nowadays. But a lot of these reports of that, people losing control of their limbs and different things like that, predate, go back hundreds of years. So, which again, these mystery schools and the mid-range higher dimensional beings or interdimensional beings that now we term aliens, cryptids, things like that, they are reported to use, all sorts of technologies where they paralyze people and they speak directly to their minds and different things like that. So yeah, it could be anything. But let me know what you guys think. It's really interesting and it's scary. It's a little scary to know that now the human race is breaking these barriers. So it's all coming together pretty fast, folks. So brace up. Let me know what you think. I love you guys. God bless you.